What's up, everyone? International Master Willam Paschall. We're streaming on Twitch and lichess. I'm Slaggy on Twitch, Sparkle Horse on lichess. It's Friday. We're going to be playing some blitz and classical chess. Anything between 5+3 and 8+3 time control. Casual, please. No computers. That should go without saying, but I just want to put the disclaimer out there. All right. I used to like to play computers back in the day, about 15 years ago. I still never played them in blitz, though. Even back then, 15 or 20 years ago, I had no chance against engines in blitz. You would occasionally see grandmasters playing them. I found it very frustrating. But at least 20 years ago, I could play them in a long game and have a chance to like draw. But now it's just like, it would be depressing to try to play with an engine. Those handicap time odds match games they've had are just really depressing. Watching Hikaru like play down material against the computer, or I don't know, man. That's just like it's like humiliating. All right, let's get started with some blitz and classical chess here on lichess. I had a challenge from World Loser. I was hoping somebody else would challenge me because honestly, I lost the last 2 times to World Loser, and I want to have like a warm-up game before I play him or something. You know, I need to get like up to speed. You tried all morning to mate a computer with knight and bishop within 1 minute. That you can learn. Try beating the computer with queen versus rook, dude. If you want to try something difficult, try queen versus rook within 5 minutes. Okay, World Loser Ananas. All right, I'm gonna be a man and take the challenges in order here, but I'm afraid World Loser's so fast. We just got to punish him when he overlooks something. It's just a normal stream today. No unusual openings or anything funky like that. We got my microphone. We've got I'm a little groggy yet. That's why I hesitated taking World Loser's challenge, but I've been awake for about the better part of an hour. It's alright, World Loser. I already started. And it's tough too. I was hoping for like a lower rated challenge. You know, so both you guys are good. We just have to handle World Loser and I think not get in the kind of time pressure, you know, I've been getting in. I mean, it's a little too much what I've been doing lately, where I get myself in a big time hole. So I decided to not let myself get like under a minute. I mean, until the end game when it's really like technical. I don't want to enter like a complicated position with under a minute or under 30 seconds. Even with the increment, it's just unpleasant, and I keep blundering. Abu Gaur says, "Can I challenge you?" You can challenge me for sure, man. I'm going to accept challenges from the subscribers first. But if you're here now, like as my stream starts, you'll definitely get to play. So I've got four challenges. 3 of them are subscribers. You could be like, you know, accepted for sure. I usually play about 10 games a session, so there's a good chance you'll play. If you challenge me now. If you wait, I can't guarantee that you'll get to play. Yeah, this is like a weird thing World Loser's doing here. Someone else did this against me recently. Changing on d4. This, however, not. Like, there was another move. I'm trying to recall what it was. I don't remember. I had the exact same position the other day. They did not play d takes c4. I'm thinking about trading queens here. Playing a slightly better endgame. Bishop g5 is interesting. I don't have to win the pawn back in the very first second, I don't think. I can play knight to d2, but it's actually a good move. I assume it's a good move. I've never really studied this position in depth. There are other moves too. I could like ignore the pawn. But he has other issues here. I mean, not, this doesn't solve all his problems feeding the pawn to me with c3. I mean, he still has the b file. Romanician would be happier than a pig in shit in this position. For example, as they say on the farm, I guess. I don't know, that's not a saying I ever used, but I just thought it would be appropriate here. Knight to c4. Anybody who plays the Catalan, is very comfortable with this bishop on the long diagonal. Now, you can play rook b1. That's where it belongs. I will have to watch for knight to d5. Pieces are maximally active. Horluser is not a good. He's not a good. How to phrase this? Role model for learning how to play properly using your clock time in this time control. I don't. I basically don't do what he's doing. He can get away with it because he's very tricky and fast, but it's not the best way to play. He just cares about winning. I think we really want to learn from these games. I don't mind, but it's not what I would recommend you do in general. It's too fast for a+3. He should use a little bit more time to try to play good moves. His score is pretty impressive, though. He's got 50. Well, he's got, whatever you call it, half as many points as me. 50% of my score. Basically, the style is to play every obvious move you can find, I guess. This is what he does. I don't really understand why. I try to find better moves. Okay, now. Bishop takes d6, rook b6. I said earlier I don't want to get in time pressure unless but we're getting to that kind of technical endgame stage where I don't feel like it would be a tragedy if I had less than like a minute or something. Chess Pro, do you really seriously think that? I've been playing chess for 25 years, more than 25 years. Online chess since 1992. Do you seriously think I haven't played a bullet game in my life? I just don't want to play bullet chess anymore. It's a waste of time. I'm not sure about this position. It's slightly unpleasant for black, but it looks very tedious and technical. Like it could be defended if he plays perfectly here. How about bishop c5, rook d1 maybe? Actually, rook d1. He has knight d5 though. I'm not sure that's a good move either. Yeah, Slatuani. But you've got to challenge me to between 5+3 and 8+3. We're not playing 10-0. So try to re-challenge me to an increment time control between 5+3 and 8+3. And you're fifth in the list. You're after Mule Skinner. Or before Mule Skinner. If World Loser wants to flag you, then probably challenge you to 5+3 would make more sense. That's another good point. I don't really understand. Yeah, that's true. I have rook check on the 7th. Take another pawn. We're dangerously close to checkmating him here. Dangerously. And this looks pretty bad for him. Spinal Tap Chess, fellow international master, wandering the streets of the internet. What's up, man? Time is it? It's 4 a.m. in Spinal Tap land. I assume he's traveled to another plane of existence. That's about the normal time for you, isn't it? You know, your most active period. First of all, World Loser, you know, shouldn't let me get to an end game if he wants to try to beat me on time. Try to keep the game more complicated like he did in the last couple of games. And then, like, yeah. Like Chess Pro said, the 5+3 challenge, he'd have a lot better chance of flagging me. Although, he did beat me the last 2 times in this time control. Alright, so now it's getting like very technical. Well, I'm just taking another pawn. There's not that many tricks he has here. Now our c-pawn will become pretty deadly. It's mate. That's good. Alright, World Loser too fast. Occasionally he goes down in flames, but as bad as this looks, he beat me the last 2 times. So it's kind of like, it's like gambling or something, you know, like sometimes you look really good and sometimes you look really bad. World Loser, he won 2 out of the last 3. It's not bad. We've got challenges. I'm gonna take the subscribers first over, you know, random players. But Chess Armageddon was disappointed he didn't get to play last time. Now he's here pretty early, so he'll get to play first of the non-subscribers. Actually, Last Dance is first. Talat is after Chess Armageddon, I guess. So we'll play these guys. Subscribers first, then the other guys. My stream lasts for 2 hours, for over 2 hours and 15 minutes, so we're going to get to most of these challenges. Challenges beyond this, I don't guarantee. King Chaser, like, you know, he's usually on the margin. World Loser, because you play insanely fast for this time control. Dude, I don't know what else to explain it. I know you can play better, but, you know, it's like 8+3. You can take, like, you know, 20 seconds a move, but you make every move in, like, 2 seconds, so... I don't see any difference in the speed of your play between this and, like you said, like 3-0 yesterday. I don't know. Have you ever played Bill Lombardi? No. No, Spinal Tap. I don't know that he ever played, like, you know... I mean, I would see him occasionally, like, going to the Skittles room of a tournament or hanging out and analyzing, but I never actually witnessed Bill Lombardi playing a tournament game. I've seen him 10 times, but but I never actually saw him playing an officially, like, rated game, I think. Even, I mean, I'm talking going back to like 1987. I don't remember. I mean, there might have been, the fact that he might have played some tournament in that period, but I never saw him. So, all right, Ananas is tough too. I'm gonna play d4. Ananas, you're playing d5. Actually, you've played different things. I'm not sure what your normal repertoire here is. If you think about it, World Loser, 8+3 game is about 15 minutes, and it's let's say 15 minutes broken down over 40 or 50 moves. 15 minutes times 60 seconds is what? 900 seconds. If you have 900 seconds for, I don't know, let's say 45 moves, that's what, like 20 seconds a move. So you can afford about 20 seconds a move, and you're making all your moves in like 2 or 3 seconds. So that's the thing. I mean, it seems like you can allot a lot more time to your quality, to your moves, to increase the quality of your moves. So I don't understand the motivation of not using your time. If it's not to flag me, then you're just not, even if you're not trying to flag me, you're just not, taking enough time to make the best possible moves you can make. So my assumption is that you're trying to flag me, because I don't understand another motivation for not taking your time. That's the thing. It was your first game today. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't have lost like that. Of course. I'm also usually not playing well in the first game. That's why I wanted to pass on playing you, because I thought, I've lost the last 2. I don't want to lose again. Ananas playing the Queen's Gambit declined. Not a good choice for ultra aggressive players like Hikaru Nakamura, in my opinion, but for very good tacticians, for an Aronian or something like that, a positional player, I can see the Queen's Gambit declined. Ananas, though, is more solid. Flagging someone 3-second increment. Who is that? Dude, it's not about directly flagging, man. It's about putting them in an unpleasant situation for a long period of time. The last 2 games, World Loser made me, if you're constantly with 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, it's going to make you make a mistake eventually. It's putting pressure on the other guy. It's not about physically flagging. It's not important if you actually flag them or not. You just constantly put them in an unpleasant situation for a long period of time. Eventually the chances are they're going to crack, and that's what happened to me the last couple of games. Finally, the second game against World Loser, I did lose on time, but I thought my position was totally lost. Probably it was. So it doesn't have to be literally flagging the other player, but putting them under constant time pressure to the point where they crack. Have you ever played Hikaru Spinal Tap Chess? Are you talking to me? Well, I mean, yeah, of course. The first time I played Hikaru was in 1999, and he was a little kid, pretty little. I don't know. He was probably like 12 or 13, and he swindled me down a pawn for a draw. He had made an opening mistake in a Richter Rouser with white, and I won a pawn, but I couldn't convert it. That's usually a sign that someone's going to be a good player. Luke McShane did that to me twice. If they can basically lose a pawn and with white in the Sicilian and draw, they're probably going to end up being like a 2600-2700 player. Oh, man. The second time I played Hikaru was a draw. He was much stronger. He was like 2500. I was black in another Sicilian, but he didn't like his position, so we agreed to a draw. And then the third time I played him, he made his final GM norm in 2003, and I lost in a French defense. It was a very bad opening choice by me. I was kind of like watching him play a lot of d4, and I thought he just wanted to play d4, so for whatever reason I wanted to play the English defense, and I played d4 e6, and I thought, well, Hikaru is really playing on just d4 now. He won't like transpose to e4, but he did. He played e4 anyway on move 2, and I had to play like one of like 3 times in my life I ever played the French defense, which is like ridiculous because I don't know anything. But I had actually prepared a little bit. It wasn't like I was sitting there like I never had the idea he could possibly play e4, but he surprised me there too, because I had prepared in the French, and he actually played the advanced variation against me, which took me by surprise because it's like a very, solid sort of strategic line, and I would expect Hikaru to go into a mainline French, so it was just some kind of advanced variation with bishop d7 and queen b6 for black, and somehow I didn't castle, and my king got a little bit uncomfortable, and he played fantastically. That was his final GM norm. You could have played c5 after d4. You could have played c5 after d4. Yeah, of course. But I don't really know the Franco Benoni very well, so my preparation for what it was worth was to play the French. I played it against Volokitin's dad, like my first or second ever French defense. I probably played like 3 French defenses in my life, 2 against Potzers and 1 against Hikaru. Literally, only 3 in my life. Yeah, Chess Pro, of course, but the Franco Benoni doesn't have very good reputation, and you've got to be like a specialist to play that. You've really got to know it. I mean, it's a slightly inferior opening, and when you play stuff like that, you've got to be like a freaking expert, because it's hard enough to play good openings, but playing bad openings requires like specialty knowledge. At least in the French defense, you're playing a good opening, so you theoretically have a good position. With the Franco Benoni, it's like you're just at a spatial disadvantage. I mean, that's not really great. All right, yeah, Ananas plays like the rock system here. It's like trying to beat Vladimir Kramnik or something. So I think that Stockfish has this advantage. I bet we're about 1/100th of a pawn, 1/100th of a center pawn better for white here. Maybe queen a3. But I don't have any forward plan. I'm thinking about this. I've got to find a better line against the Lasker variation. Once against Martin Senf, I played, I was so desperate to do something, I played bishop g3 here, which is at least a variation that leaves some pieces on the board or something, some kind of tension exists after that. I'm pretty sick of the Queen's Gambit, bishop g5. Do people actually play c5 to transpose into a Benoni? It's good against weak players, probably. That opening. But I wouldn't play it, against a good player. The old Franco Benoni. Man. Alright, we've got some issues here. I've got no advantage, and I don't know what to do. Other than that, everything's fine. My queen is going to end up being misplaced here. I have a bad feeling about that. And this looks stupid for white. I do have one trick. You could play knight to d4, but even that probably only equalizes. d4, e4, b6, I thought it was similar to the English defense. Well, I mean, we're talking bad in a relative sense. I think that it's worse than the Owen defense. I mean, I think that the Owen's defense is worse. The Owen defense is worse than the English defense. But Christian Bauer plays it. He wrote a book on it. You know, if you play it perfectly, it's probably, you know, you only get a tiny disadvantage or something. But you just don't get enough control of the center, I think. That's why I prefer the St. George, actually. Tony Miles also argued that, like, you know, after e4, it's better to play a6 and b5 than like e6 and b6 probably. But I guess there's some people who might disagree with that. You know, you're weakening yourself with b5. I mean, there's no easy answers. Queen f6 now. At least maybe I can play b4 and break out. Break out for what it's worth. Get him off of c5. He goes to e4 or e6 here. We have at least a file to use. But I don't ever want to play this position again. 0 for white as far as opening advantage goes. I wouldn't equate the Owen defense to the English defense. I think the English defense is dubious compared to mainline openings too, but it's probably better than the Owen's defense or Owen defense. Some people say Owens. It's like an automatic thing to say Owens, but it's Owen. The Reverend John Owen was a, I guess, an English master. Not particularly strong player, but he was a master by modern standards, I guess. Not as strong as some of the best players of the time, though. Knight e6. That's kind of pissing me off. What am I supposed to do here? Thing that bothers me is e4. I mean, my knight will get kicked anyway, so it's almost like I have to move it unprovoked. Straight up here. Trying to control e4, maybe heading for f1. When your opponent thinks that you're playing the French, you play the Owen defense. Yes. And you're like, yes! He didn't play the French, thank God. He played that retarded Owen defense. Oh my, I'm so happy, you know. That's what I'm thinking, you know. I'm so psyched when they don't play the French, they play b6 instead. Thank you for giving me the center. e4, d4. I'll take it all day, man. Some people are bad at playing against hyper-modern openings, but okay, now what am I doing? What's the problem with my position? The queen. Does this move even have a sense if... While I'm untangling my totally misplaced pieces, black is starting to mount some kind of threats on the king side, of course. This is not a joke anymore. I don't remember playing a Queen's Gambit Decline with Ananas. Chess Pro played the French. Okay, advanced variation is going to be more common at the lower levels. You know, top grandmasters, not many play the advanced variation. My friend Joel Benjamin plays the advanced variation. He played it all his life, but I think he's in the minority of grandmasters. I mean, technically, it's not as good a move as the other main lines. What are you doing, man? I could trade a set of rooks, maybe. We're on the defensive, but we're still alive. I guess we could possibly win the a7 pawn, but I have to watch. Actually, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Queen b7. My plan is to play rook c8, I guess, and just avoid getting crushed along the d file. He's going to double rooks, try to play rook d1. You play rook d8 followed by rook d1 and threaten queen takes c2 or something like that. You could play rook d1 right away, but then I have rook c8 check, and I guess I win a rook. So this has to go. That knight on f1 is saving my life. We've got to trade one rook just to defend ourselves. I was careful not to put my knight on g3 because you know, he's just going to attack me with h5. Get it? Attack me. All right. Queen g4. We're having a little trouble coordinating here. Is knight g3 an option? Not really. f5. I don't know why I'm playing this particular move, but I don't really see a good one. I guess this was dumb. I should have played like queen e8 or something. I could have played queen e8 and tried to attack, made him with queen g8 or queen h8 or something, but I felt like he can move his queen and his king can pop out to g6, and maybe I'm the one that gets mated in the end. So he should have played f5, attacking my queen again. Oh man. What am I thinking about? Dude. I'm having crazy hallucinations. Black was clearly better there. I have for the draw. I'm worse here. You know, I don't like to offer draws to lower rated players. Like, I pretend it's if it's like a real tournament situation here, but if I was playing somebody in a tournament game, honestly, if they were above 2200, I'd probably offer a draw here. If they were under 2200, I would try somehow to win, I guess. Probably losing in the process. I don't know, but I'm only slightly worse. But I was a lot worse. I was seriously worse before. Here I started to have some weird hallucination. I thought you should have played f5 now. The computer says knight e4. Difficult to trade queens there. for black, but it could be. I know, I trust the computer knows what it's talking about. I was afraid of f5. It's not a good move for some reason. Wow, that's surprising. Anyway, like, good game, man. You were better. What did I do wrong in the opening? Let's see. Well, no time. We got a lot of challenges. I'm going to go to the challenges. Melody Marathon, Mule Skinner, then Chess Armageddon, Last Dance, and Tlatwani. Refreshing works usually. Yeah, I use Firefox. Probably it's better to use Chrome with lichess. All right. We're gonna play the English opening. Attack. If you put your knight on g3, it's like begging him to play h5, h4. I'm just gonna accelerate, like, probably his strongest attacking plan there. Yeah, so I just had to sit there with my knight on f1 and suffer. Nice game though out of Stoke. My queen was totally misplaced on the queen side, and I never could recover from that. The good old days when I'd get a game first because I was a sub. Oh, Zen Chess. Yeah, okay. Nice joke. But you were relatively recently, you know. You're recently joining us. I didn't even notice your challenge there, honestly. Sorry about that. Nothing like a little sarcasm. I like it. So, yeah, we've got this game, Mule Skinner, and Zen Chess, and then the first of the non-subscribers. Melody Marathon. What am I going to play against the King's Indian? I thought he would play like the Grunfeld or something. I don't know this player very well. We've only played one game, well, a couple games. He had another account, or 2 accounts. How many accounts have you had now? Melody Marathon. Those were the days. Okay, Zen Chess. Aldisto. Yeah, I guess I'll just start playing the Catalan or something. I don't know, man. It's like hopeless to play Bishop G5 for at least two reasons. I mean, first of all, the Lasker variation is a dead end for white, unless you're like Vladimir Kramnik, and even then it's probably a dead end. And the second problem in the Queen's Gambit is the Tartikover variation. I had a 15 move draw against this young Hungarian FM 3 weeks ago in the Budapest Team Championship. It's like there's no way to get an advantage in the Tartikover variation or the Lasker variation for white. And everybody's like, well, why don't you play Bishop F4? Bishop F4 doesn't give white an advantage either. Like, nothing gives white an advantage. So, like most mainline openings, it's just a draw. Knight to c6. I guess you got to come up with some new creative ideas to confuse people. Knight to c6 here. This is more commonly played after black has castled. I wonder if there's any real significance to the fact that he hasn't castled yet. I can play d5, bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, knight e5, bishop e2. You know, that's probably transposing to a semi main line for the system. We can't see the up part of the screen. Seriously? I didn't know. Thanks for letting me know. Really? Can't see the upper part of the screen. Oh, the board got too big? How did the board get like different sized? The board got bigger, but I don't know how it got bigger or when it got bigger. You know what it is? Because I refreshed my Firefox the other day, it set preferences back to defaults. So that's why. Alright, board size. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't even realize, obviously. It's still too big. I kind of like the size of the board, but let's see how that looks. Damn, dude. I can move the words up a tiny bit, but I don't want to make the board too much smaller. That looks like too small. Alright, that's... Can I just make the words smaller? I can't make them smaller, like... I can't make it a little smaller. Damn it, dude. It's like messing with me. Oh my god, what am I doing? There. That's better. I did it. Okay, that's close enough. Yeah, come to think of it, this is like the main line position. No. Melody Marathon castled. There's something weird about this. Now I'm used to the other board size. I changed my piece theme. No. I just changed my board size because it went back to default. Good job, guys. Now we got a smaller board. Just I can't see the part where it challenger's notification. Really? Oh. Oh, you're right. What? But why? Okay, I'll just move the whole board. There you go. Sorry. I'll make the board a little bigger again. Thanks for clarifying. How's that? So black's playing the King's Indian without his good bishop. He's using the well, unlike World Loser, it's like theory, you know. So I can understand if you move instantly when you just know the theory. Nothing wrong with that, if there's nothing to think about. Except here, you know, it's a kind of odd position. I mean, I guess knight g4 could be played. Something strange about the move order of this game that's sort of bugging me. Someone did something wrong, but I don't know if it's me or you. I guess we play f3. Taking on e2 seems wrong. Kind of justifies knight g1. Right, I was a little scared of bishop d7 and like, what am I doing, right? But what am I thinking? What am I doing wrong here? Why is it... Is this book? Or am I just confusing variations? It's really freaking me out. I had this game with Walter Whitman like 8 years ago. It seems like it was yesterday, but he's an Austrian. I am. He was quite a theoretician. Kind of weak player tactically, but really good. Really good in theory. And Walter played this line against me. And I beat him, but not because of the opening. I just managed to like put him in time pressure later on in the game. But I used the knight g1 variation, but something was different about the position. I guess some confusing variations or something. Like black had already played knight d7 or something when I'm supposed to play... I'm only supposed to play knight g1 when he goes knight d7. And that's the problem when I'm mixing things up here. So I think you're right, Spinal Tap Chess. Like, I shouldn't do knight g1 in that position. But I didn't know what I'm supposed to do. I probably knew it one time, but I so rarely encounter this variation that I forgot about it. Knight g1. It's probably not legit. But it is legit when black like goes knight fd7. It's theory. I also lost to Lembit Ol before he jumped off a building, playing knight g1 in a slightly different position. I have an affinity for knight g1, but I'm not sure about this whole business. I wonder if I should even put my bishop back on f2, or is it choking in my pieces? Is it better to play like knight bishop to a3? I think I need a place to move my e2 knight. The redundancy. Then again, f2 is kind of natural. Well, once he's done this thing on the queen side, I feel like he's compromised his position slightly. I've done knight g1, now I should do knight b1. Like, knight b1, knight d2, etc. But I'm in time pressure again. Do knight g1 and knight b1, fixing both knights. Queen d7. Logical. All right, I've got to focus here. This knight is kind of crappy. Once I had a game in a Botvinnik English where my friend Paul beat me in a King's Indian type of setup. I never moved my knights on like c3 and e2. They were just stuck there forever. This is Spinal Tap. This is a Spinal Tap kind of position, I think. He likes the positional squeeze. Space advantages and positional squeeze with good endgame technique. What do you play against the King's Indian again, Spinal Tap? I forget now. We had a game or two in Blitz. I never played a King's Indian against you. I don't think in a tournament game or something. Not like we have many games. I guess I was already transitioning to the Nimzo by that time. But generally black is playing a King's Indian without his good bishop that he can sacrifice in the pawn storm on like h3, you know. I beat Craig Jones really badly once, this master from like North Carolina. I beat him really badly in one of these. He did the same thing as Melody Marathon. He just traded off his white squared bishop and then pretended like it was a normal King's Indian. But I was like, dude, you don't have a white squared bishop, you know, to sack on h3. Yeah, good thing I'm not playing Spinal Tap. I would get smashed. Nobody's gonna smash me in this position. But there's the question of whether he's gonna hold on here, I guess. So d6 takes, trades off a very valuable piece. Yeah, d6 is probably too, too immediate. Then again, he's going to blockade. He's going to blockade if I don't do it, so it's kind of like, well, should I do it or not, while I have the time to do it? See, this is the problem. And now it's going to be hard to break through. Let's try for a different angle. Not that simple. I'm sure I had better somewhere, but I managed to squander all my time every game. A typo. Dude, I have like a minute left and I've got a typo in a sentence. Okay. I'll get to it after the game. I've got b4. Then there's some trick. Basically, I lost most of my advantage, maybe all of it. The time pressure again. I mean, I was talking through like 4 minutes of my time. That's why I don't play rated. People ask me, why don't you play rated? Well, I'm talking about the game, I mean, it's like kind of a handicap. Are we feeling sparkly today? No, Spinal Tap sucks, Z-Fox. He's just another 1600. King F1, we're heading to the center. We're going to try to play and defend our pawn on b5 from future attack, I guess. I don't know. I guess I could even possibly activate this guy, but let's move the king first. He can just make pre-move, instant move. I have this. That's actually a handy dandy move to have. I guess I could play bishop d8, but then I realized that that's a bad idea. Bishop takes, well, I mean, I still might be okay in that ending, even a pawn down, because he's kind of frozen. Yeah, it looks like it may be okay to play bishop d8. Well, he's got to try to make progress on the king's side. I guess it's just a draw. Okay, well, next game. I wonder how big my advantage was at its peak. Pretty big positional advantage. Similar to the last game with Melody Marathon, where I was much better out of the opening, but then I get in time pressure, and he plays perfectly in time pressure situations, especially end games. He's very good at end games. So apparently, did I miss something here? This was a blunder because of knight b2 check. I'm supposed to play bishop h4 right away. That's a really nice subtlety. I was thinking how I could attack two pieces at once, but this is that's a beautiful move. I have to play that not to be in trouble there, I guess. All right, next, Mule Skinner in Zen chess. Vishy Anand lost in 6 moves one time. He lost to Alonso Zapata in a Petrov. That's all right. I lost to Alonso Zapata twice, so no shame on Vishy for that. Mule Skinner. It's not easy to play Zapata with black. He's much tougher with the white pieces. Plays the old Indian with black, but like with white, he's a good GM. All right, Mule Skinner. Let's branch out and play some e4. Now we have time to deal with the urgent problem at hand. My misspelling was like I was rushing to change it. Chalinish, Hungarian, Chalinish. All right, there you go. I know that some people are I'm irritated by it too. I usually check for misspellings. All right. So the exchange variation is, that sucks. Advanced variation. What are we going to play today? Main line. The winnower. Oh man, I don't know the winnower very well. Mule Skinner probably has a lot of knowledge. You kind of have to when you're black. But he played bishop a5. The depth of my knowledge here is very limited. I know the general ideas, but not the theory too deeply. I don't remember if we ever played this before, Mule Skinner. Am I supposed to play f4? I think I'm supposed to play f4. I hope I'm supposed to play f4, but now I'm having like second thoughts about it. Bishop takes e5. No, that can't possibly work. Bishop takes e5. Pawn takes e5, queen h4 check. Is that a real thing? Seriously? Is f4 a blunder? I've been learning the Tarash for white. I've literally played one winnower in a tournament game in my entire career. One that I remember against a good player anyway. I mean, there might have been some 1800 I played, I don't recall, but... Can he play bishop takes e5 there? That seems absurd, but bishop takes e5, f takes e5, queen h4 check, g3, queen e4 check, king f2, queen takes h1, knight c7 check. Maybe at the end, like, I get back my material with advantage, I guess. Alright. So now knight takes d4. I think we had once a game in this Mule Skinner, if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure I played f4, what I played. Yeah, Tactical Wizard, that's the line, the last line I was thinking about. You know, that looks okay for white. I never really know like when to take and what to take in these type of lines. I want to get my pawn back, but I'm not sure if it's obligatory. If I could just develop my pieces with bishop d3, maybe that makes sense. I'm not in a rush, and this pawn's not going anywhere. Nimzovich would approve of this position for white. You like temporarily sack the pawn. The only downside could be that he could break on the queen side with my extended fianchetto. At some moment. He has to time it properly though. Not just like play it at any moment, because I could take on c7 and play like b5 with advantage probably. But I can only play on intuition here. I literally don't know the theory. I already don't know the main lines of the winner very well, and this bishop a5 line, you know, it's like, how often do you encounter it? Like 1 in 10 times you face the winner. Halifman played it against Kasparov in Kasparov's last big super tournament, I think, and drew. And it's an old favorite of the Armenian, the really great Armenian grandmaster Simbat Laputian. He's like a specialist. The specialist. Knight takes c7 or knight takes d4. His c7 bishop is a dangerous piece, but I'm developing him a little bit if I take there. Kind of, it's just the lesser of the evils. I don't know which is worse. Taking on d4 is a principled move that maintains control of the d4 square, I guess. I'm going to do that. I feel like knight takes c7 helps his pieces come out. This way we're playing Steinitzian fashion, controlling the d4 square. Nimzovich. There is a backwardness along the c file, though. That gives black a little bit of counter chances. I mean, a bishop could wedge itself like on a4. Really not sure, theoretically, which way I'm supposed to go there. I guess this is a blunder, actually. Okay. Now I know. I just have to like lose a pawn. That answers that question. Same tactic again. That's why, kids, you have to know opening theory. I would sack one pawn gladly, but the problem is I'm going to have to sack 2 pawns, and I won't have enough compensation. Skinner just totally missed it. I mean, maybe he turns the stream off, but I mean, he just has bishop takes e5 here. It's just like killing. I mean, I have nothing to do after that. Maybe bishop e3, just being down a pawn with negligible compensation. That's about the best I could come up with. Literally, like, bishop e3, congratulations, you won a pawn for nothing. But this way, I've got a solid space advantage, and I maintain most of my trumps. Let's not use that word anymore. But anyway, you know, it used to be a good word. Okay, bishop e3. Rather than go to b2, where it has questionable future, go to e3. Man, Mule Skinner, I mean, it's still solid for black, but dude, how can you miss bishop takes e5? I mean, I missed it because I'm white, but I would never miss it with black. I always see threats for myself. It's more usual to see stuff for yourself, right? Mule Skinner is thinking too defensively. Thinking too defensively. Queen e7 is kind of passive. Now, what's he going to do? H5, knight h6, g6. I mean, the queen is taking the knight square. I actually thought maybe queen h3, but that does look kind of weird. He loses a queen there, in fact. Never mind. Wow, queen h3 just loses the queen immediately. Sick. So queen h4 is really bad. Still a great word. Bishop e3. All right, we're thinking for black here h5 and just trying to defend, go into a kind of hedgehog style, roll up into a ball, and just white has a really nice space advantage though. I could even potentially play c4 at some point. Wow, he played f6. He can do that. He can do that because he has like queen h5, queen f7. But I still don't really like his position as much as, you know, I like being up a pawn for nothing. Being up a pawn for nothing is definitely better than this for black. Now I feel like white has some real space advantage. Castles. I mean, I could even play castles. Now it's not hanging anymore, my e5 pawn. Ridiculous. I wonder if he could castle queenside. It's not that insane, just a little bit. No, I mean, impenetrable wall. I was trying to say hedgehog. Zed, though, no, he could have been up a pawn for nothing. That's what we're talking about. He could have just been up a pawn for absolutely no compensation. Okay, I need to think a little bit here. I mean, there's got to be... We've got to make sure that the e5 pawn stays nailed down. Maybe I have to play knight f3. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Feels passive. All right, it's degenerating into a blitz game. If he takes on e5, it's dangerous because he opens the f file for me. Castling queenside he can do. It's kind of long-term dangerous, I think, for black, but I think he should consider it. Feels like I should just bust open the center, but then his rook is on d8. You know, if I try to do c4 with his rook on d8, I could get in trouble. So he chose to close the king side, which it looks a tiny bit slow. We'll try to go direct. This is like forced. He cannot let me play like pawn takes pawn under any circumstances here. He has ideas of knight h6, knight g4, but I can always just play h3. Although knight h6 to f7. The main point is that I just play like bishop takes c4 and queen b3 and triple up on the e6 pawn. He's going to get crushed. My king is kind of open, but he's not developed enough to exploit it. I think he should have pulled the trigger on castling queenside there. Now knight g4. Is that a threat or not? Queen b3, knight g4, bishop takes e6, bishop takes e6, knight takes e6. There is some chance he has some real counterplay there. Should I play h3? Weakening my king side more? He actually has bishop b6 as well. That's going to be pretty nasty. So he has more counterplay than I thought. Who knows? He could do g5, but he has to time it, you know, so he can deal with queen h5 check and whatnot. But this is a very, very awkward move for me to have to meet. I was looking at queen b3. There's bishop b6 anyway. All right. Now I guess I'm not threatening anything because I'm pinned. But I will be next move threatening something. So routine castles or something is going to be possibly not enough. If castle's kingside, rook e1, rook ae1. He can always trade his bishop on d4. Ooh, the queenside castles. Drawing the battle lines. Rook fe1. He can defend e6 now directly. Man, this move is pretty lame. He has actually, well, bishop a4 looks kind of crazy. He defended. He's obviously going to move his king at some point, but he has to be careful about how to do it. How overextended am I? See, like rook c1 I think is... Maybe rook c1 was a good move, damn. I mean, I could have done knight c6 check on king b8 and just taken his bishop. Do I lose a full tempo here and just do it anyway? I also have knight takes f5 now. He just tactically blundered. I don't know what's going on in this game. Rook takes, or do we take the other way? I don't know, this is a little more simplified. Maybe it was simpler to do it the other way, but I was hoping for trades and a very clear endgame where I just have this protected passer and he's got to make a passive move like that. I don't want my bishop to get stuck on f7 out of play. So we're lucky. I mean, felt like there's a good move for counterplay. It really felt like he had tons of chances. This is a combative, tricky move. Where does his bishop go? Back to e8, right? There goes my chance to play that. Okay, I'm just kind of freaking out here. I want to take with the queen, make sure he doesn't open up my king side. But I should be winning. overly safe move, bishop g2. Just a quick look at the analysis board. I don't trust my engine. I want to know if I was seriously just blundered a pawn in the opening. What the hell did I do wrong? So this is all main line. F4 is actually main line. Bishop takes e5 doesn't work right away. We established that. Now the main line is to take on c7. I played knight f3, knight c6. So knight c6 is some totally random move. Wow. Normally they play bishop takes b5 or knight e7. So literally, it's no wonder I've never faced this before. And Li Chao here played like bishop d3, same as me. Li Chao versus Khan Imre, but a6. And I guess I just blundered here. I have to take his knight. Even knight d6 check is interesting. No, that's bad. Okay, so I have to take the bishop, I mean. This is just a catastrophic blunder. Anton Filippov, my God, did the same thing and his opponent didn't see it. I feel better now. Anton Filippov, 2006, did the same thing as me. Oh my God, we just dropping pawn, and that was a tournament game. I don't feel so bad about this blitz game, but man, this is bad. We should both see this, Mule Skinner. It's just clear pawn up. The best move I have is now bishop e3. If I take the second pawn, I mean, if I take the bishop, you get two pawns. It's like, there's no way to play this as a gambit or something. I'm just crushed because of queen takes d4. You're going to be double attacking e5 and a1. It's a catastrophe for white. Okay, let's move on to our other challenges. Zen chess, followed by the visitors. So we've got to play Last Dance, Chess Armageddon, and Tlatuani first, followed by whoever else we can play today. All right. So what's up, guys? Thanks for watching, and check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. I will be back on Sunday with my simul. I do a simul every Sunday, usually at 6:30 p.m. Central European time, Central European Summer Time. I don't even know when the time change is, actually. Is it this week? Does anybody know when the European time change here for us is? Is it coming this week, or is it like in 2 weeks? It's like, it feels like it's different every year. Owlette says, can I play? We got a really long queue, so I'm only streaming for like an hour and 15 minutes more. Probably, theoretically you can, but you're probably not going to get to play because it's too many other players in the queue already. These are long games. I'm not playing like 3-0, so it takes like up to 15 minutes to play a single game. E5, many things I've played here. But I guess the most fun is the classical G3. You guys have daylight savings time in Hungary. Yeah, I mean, we do. And many countries have daylight savings time all over the world, though many don't. You know, it's a really messed up system. I mean, it's just insane that in the 21st century we have so much chaos with the time change business. But Kasparov Karpov, 1984. That's when I learned chess, and right around 1984, I started to. I played in my first unrated tournament when I was in 7th grade. It was a knockout. No, it was a knockout format. So I played one game and went home. Really good to encourage the scholastic kids to to play chess, you know, have a knockout format. Anyways, like the next year I would play in my first rated official tournament. But Kasparov and Karpov had their, first match. Was it the second match? They had a lot of games in this English, which were very, very interesting. And that's one of the reasons why I came to play the English opening at an early stage. Both Kasparov and Karpov like to play c4 on a fairly regular basis. Karpov originally playing e4, but later transitioning to not playing e4. Now, this is a kind of rare system, I think, d6. Usually they play rook e8 Zen chess, or bishop takes c3. It's kind of a funky move order. I think I'm supposed to play like knight e1 right away. I haven't studied this in like a very, very long time. So, do we know the European time change, when it is? I'm too lazy to look it up. Is it this Sunday? It'd be good to know. I know I've got some European viewers here, for sure. In July and August, I'm streaming from the United States, but most of the time I'm here in Hungary, Central European summertime at the moment. Bishop e6 was played. So you're just begging for knight to d5 now. All right, you got it. It's like a weird Rossalimo Sicilian with colors reversed. Isn't the time change is at the start of the simul, so your set time actually happens twice. Okay, that's a confusing that's a confusing concept. Daylight savings time in Europe in 2017 began at 1 p.m. Began. I like how it began. Begins. How did that already begin? That would be confusing. Oh, began. Sorry. 1 a.m. Sunday, March 20 ends 29th of October. The next week. That's good. All right, then I can not worry about it for one more week. We have any tricky stuff like b4 here? Weird setup, Zen chess. How can you get away with this? Maybe I can play e4. That doesn't look right. d3. Huh. Feels like I should have something, but I don't have anything. Rook b1. e3. And my knight's on a weird square. I could play knight to d3, but then where does my knight go from d3 after something like knight bishop b6? Where the heck? Where in the world would my knight go after going to d3? If it could go through b4, that would be alright. Maybe, but only Rapport could get it there. I feel like black played a slow move order, but I don't really know how to exploit it. It's like I'm black in a closed Sicilian of some kind. That's all the English is, really. You know, Sicilian reversed. Are you sure? 2191. 2191 is not a noob. 2191 takes a lot of work to get to that level in chess. A credible achievement. So Zen chess now. What's up, man? Playing the funky queens. I mean, closed Sicilian. h6, he found it. Slightly weakening the old king side, but I think it's more or less essential to stop bishop g5. And now we could play e4, I guess. But that bishop on c5 he's not very nice. Oh well, I just reminded myself of something else comical, but b4. You know, b4, knight takes b4, knight takes b4, bishop takes b4, rook b1, or bishop takes b7, rook b8. I just activate all of his pieces if I do that. It seems kind of stupid. My knight is stuck on e1 here. It's not really ideal to have the knight on e1. Alright, well, we're just making it up as we go along. Rook b1, b4, b5 would be a normal plan. If it wasn't for that bishop on c5, I would feel very comfortable about my position. Except Zen chess took on d5. This is usually not good. Giving up your powerful white squared bishop. Admittedly, my bishop is not the greatest, blocked by the pawn at d5, but usually this is a positional mistake for black. To any times play bishop takes d5. Any times. Any times. So we've got the break d4. Pawn takes, knight takes. Or we can just play e4. I think we're missing our golden opportunity to play e4, d4. I don't know. Both moves are probably playable. I always second guess everything I do. Where's all our subscribers today? Blue Crow is here. Should be the last Sunday of October. I trust the wisdom of Blue Crow. We had our subscriber stream last night. Yeah, c6 was my one hesitation. I was like, oh, he's got c6. All right. This just takes it to another dimension. That's why I question whether I should have played d4 immediately, because of this, you know. Now this is kind of stabilizing the whole situation. I wish I had played d4 first now. We'll see after the game. I feel like I let him get away with something. Ugh. How about b4? It's not going to do anything. What would Anish Giri do? Don't make any draw jokes. Knight e3 just gives him the d4 square completely. Although it looks like he's got it no matter what. So I play bishop e3. Bishop e3, bishop takes e3, pawn takes e3. This is a fail, dude. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed I didn't play d4. I mean, my position is okay, but I don't have an advantage, you know, and I should have had an advantage in this game. Because I didn't play d4. Instead of e4, I make the lazy move here. Bang. Pawn takes, knight takes d5, knight b3. Maybe he wins a pawn there, though. Maybe it will turn out it's... Oh, man. You're being very combative. I had some crazy idea here. Probably not good, though. You got a bad structure? Talk to me about it. We just got a bad structure. No, f4 is completely structured out. Some weird lines. I could do like f4, pawn takes pawn, d4. The cheapo queen g4. But just like knight e3. An epic fail. Not clear. This is weird, okay? Maybe my position isn't that bad. We do have this just very, very strong bishop on g2. That's why I sacrificed my entire pawn structure, hoping that that would mean something here. But there's some calculation involved. Knight b4, bishop e4. I played a lot of dragons. Now he's walking into this. I don't know how far he calculated this, but he might get tangled up. His white squares are weak, and all my pieces are like, one more move and it's like goodbye. After knight f5, game over. You know, white is going to have this like crushing attack on the king side, Nesmedinov style. So maybe knight b4 was even a mistake, unless he has some kind of tricks. Okay, possibly he could defend that, I don't know, but feels like he's going the wrong direction. Maybe he should have just traded knights on e3. Obviously he didn't want to fix my pawn structure. We'll see what the good old computer says after the game. Coach, Stockfish. So coming to his senses, he's decided to part with his bishop and his pawn structure advantage. So bishop takes allows f5, which appears to be a serious problem. One would assume I'm just like losing material there. But I still have some issues here. We're going to have to play very dynamically. My development is lagging. Definitely didn't anticipate that. Wow. What is going on? A3. Okay. Problem is knight f6. Seriously? And this is super weird. About to lose on time. I'm not sure queen f3 was a good move, but I'm not sure of many of my moves, honestly. I'm never sure. It's good when you're sure, though. It's a good feeling to be sure you made a good move. Expert. 2 knights versus 2 bishops, expert. His kingside looks kind of squishy with all these pawn moves, but right now I can't exploit it yet, but hopefully later on that's gonna make a difference. To the C file. Okay, are you threatening me? Then just getting in on the time bandwagon. Or it's just me like getting in time pressure every single game. I'm threatening d4. Man, he has a move to meet that. Are you kidding me? It's going to get kind of unclear. What am I thinking here? I have no idea what's going on. God, I'm just gonna flag on time. I have no idea what's going on. I'm down a pawn, but I have some compensation. He played like an amazingly flawless game. And another good move. This is a really bad decision, but I'm freaking out with 7 seconds left. My experience, this kind of ending is usually a draw. The two bishops giving me enough counterplay for the pawn deficit. Sure if that's a good move. Bishop h5 might get my bishop trapped over there. This is pretty much likely to be a draw. He has an extra pawn. I mean, it's definitely something. Now we're gonna win it back, but he's traded off all the pawns. I guess theoretically he could lose. Two bishops, you know, he can't just sacrifice his knights and stuff. Get the knight corralled. Not so easy. It's probably a dead draw now. Yeah, this is perfect defense. What happened? I don't think I was ever winning at the end, even though it wouldn't be deserved. It felt like I was close. Yeah, he finds only move there, knight c8, probably. Maybe king f6, huh? Alright, let's go back to the challenges. Plucro and Aldisto, you guys, we don't have that much time left. I promised to play these other viewers, so I don't know what to do. I'll take Plucro's challenge because it's 5-5, but I think the others are gonna have to wait. these guys have been waiting the whole time, even though they're not subscribers. I want to play Chess Armageddon and Tlatuani. I may have to create a stream where I'm just playing guests, because it gets to the point where, you know, we have just subscribers or just guests. Maybe we'll have to have special streams for both. All right, Blue Crow. I can extend the stream like half an hour at the most here. But I promise to play Tlatuani and those guys. All right. Practically, he could draw. Interesting opening. I'll have a look at that game later. Zen Chess. Chess 960, in case your eyes are wondering what you're looking at. Really want to fight for the e5 square. I'm not very well disposed to do that here. Basically, Blue Crow is playing the Dutch or Birds opening. We do have one more subscriber in Aldisto. Then I want to play these, especially Chess Armageddon. He was waiting the other day. But you guys can also subscribe. You can always subscribe if you want to play badly enough. All right. Knight G6 F5 doesn't look dangerous. Knight G5, Knight F6 isn't a problem. Hikaru said he studied Chess 960 theory. Yeah, I mean, okay, like theory doesn't exist in the book sense, I guess. Although eventually it probably will. The game's not popular enough online. It's not even close to as popular as like Crazy House or something. So I don't think like there are a lot of works, theoretical works on it, but there might be some. I wanted to get in E5 here. I've basically been trying to achieve that this opening, so to challenge White's first move, basically. Camel Culture. There's some Chess 960 start positions where White has a forced win. Oh, that's sick. I did not know that. Is that possible? Seriously? Wow. We're going back. Good job. That looks right. Now I want to try to keep the tension. You could play F6, but how am I going to get my pieces out? Actually, okay, F6. It's not very developmental. It's going to end up in a very close situation. F6, D4 feels like a good move. I don't know why. All right, we'll do it. My knight on G8 is pretty sick. Alex says I'll challenge another day. Peace. Yeah, too many challenges here. Uh-oh, Bishop B4. I'm definitely gonna play Aldisto and then Chess Armageddon. Tlatuani fell out of line. He had to re-challenge, so he's actually ahead of Lousy Dirty Cheater. I mean, Last Dance is it's like 25-84 in Bullet. I mean, I may just forego that challenge. Not really in the mood to get beat down by a 25-84 player. Bullet Grandmaster. I'm really not understanding who that is, because I thought it was this guy Dilyavatra, but he's not that strong in bullet. I mean, so I'm really confused about that account. Alright, we'll just grab some more space now. We should develop our pieces here. Though we don't really have that many other options, to be honest. I need to get my pieces out. Maybe I'm going to have to play d4. Maybe a4 first, after all, is the right move. And then the idea will be to play so d4 and like c5 eventually. I want to restrict the bishop at d1 from coming out here. Never had so many challenges. Might want to accept a challenge on that Zedho dude. Heard he's pretty good. I don't want to like hand pick challenges. I mean, I got a subscriber and then a couple players who've been waiting the whole stream to play. So that's going to be it for today. I'll be back on Sunday with a simul, and that'll be 6:30 p.m. No time change this week. We can swing a little bit of extra time today, but not more than like an extra game, probably. One hand picking opponents, yeah. But I mean, I don't really feel comfortable with Last Dance. He's like 2600 in bullet. Like, this is a player who's like supposed to be GM strength or something. It's kind of weird. All right. Blue Crow. I would play everybody if I had time. Believe me. Here we go, Blue Crow. You're attacking my king side. I guess I have to do this. This is the plan. c5, c4. Maybe get my bishop out. I can get my bishop out on h5 here too. That's another question. Should I do this? It's not really correct on a positional level. I guess I have to go on this side. My pieces are totally messed up. This rook on f8. But white is messed up too. White's queenside is messed up. His queen is messed up on b1. So it's mutual. Got to tend the field somehow. I wish the challenges were a little faster, time control. I mean, Last Dance's challenge, that's the other thing, it's like 8+3. It's extremely long. I wish it was like 5+3. Alright, b5. But I don't usually have this many challenges. Far more today than on the morning, Monday or Wednesday. It feels like, uh-oh, queen b1. I could just take and play bishop f7. He could take with the pawn, theoretically. He does have a good square for a knight, but there are other issues with that being isolated, that pawn there. I don't really like that for him. He's going to live with that. Okay. Okay, everything is battened down, but I need to develop the rest of my pieces, and we have some issues. Tie him down to e4. I really don't have another idea of how to play this position. This is his one weak point that I can really tangibly do anything about. And my bishop is just Ilin. My other pieces are Ilin too. Yeah, this is pretty sick. So much for castling. I need to get my knight out. Alright. Play for cheapos. Playing for cheapos. Well, the game will just be settled by time. I'm doing a little better today. He saw the cheapo. A little better today than the last one, but Castling by hand. We were threatening knight takes f5 and to snap the knight on f3. But there's certain things about this position that I don't really feel super comfortable about. Maybe I have to actually play for g6 myself. I should have been thinking of this already. g6 myself. Me, myself, and I. What else can I do? I mean, I have to bust out somehow. Now my king is on the wrong square. It should have gone to c7, but we can manage. Although if I take with the knight, he plays rook or bishop h6. Maybe it's not a big deal. The other options are not that appealing. This puts pressure on e4 a lot. This was the wrong square for my king. It should have gone here. But we're threatening to blow up what's left of his center, I guess. Massive pressure on e4, pressure on f5. Now I don't know which way to take. So we have to take with the pawn. Well, we don't have to. We've actually got some problems. We've got to take... I don't know which way to take. He's threatening what? Knight to g4. I've got some problems here because of this. Bishop e7 drops everything. King e7 puts me in a self-pin. King e6. King e6 is like perverse. Knight f4, that's gotta lose. Okay, I don't have another move I can find. 11 seconds. I thought, I don't know. Probably getting mated. Did you guys find something? All because I put my king on the wrong square. Well, actually, it's not certain that my problems would have been solved. I regret playing g6 now. I didn't think that Blue Crow could organize serious threats like this. You know, his position was totally discoordinated too. I don't even know how this even happened. Oh, castles. Oh. You have that. That's nice, Blue Crow. Wow. Damn, dude. Just totally trashed me in chess 960. Damn, you didn't just beat me, you like crushed me into the dust. Castling was on the agenda too. I have no idea what to do here. I never have any play. Oh, you took that. You know how much I hate you for taking that? I was about to get some serious threats. Looks like he let me live in a position where, you know, I thought I had zero hope. Now at least I'm still alive technically. Rook f6 there. I'm not sure if that check was worth playing. Whoa. How fast can my pawns go? He has 3 connected passed pawns, but it takes a while to push them. Okay, this was a bad mistake by me. I'm gonna lose there. I probably had ways to hold this. Totally misplayed it. Yeah, good game, man. There's no way to save this. I just let him put his pawns down. This is just winning for white, it looks like. There's no way to stop it. Impressive, dude. Alright, Aldisto, our last subscriber game. Then I'm going to play these two guys. Chess Armageddon and Tlatuani. Chess 960. Nice game out there, Blue Crow. It's even the engine doesn't see even the engine doesn't see the horizon. I thought I had chances to hold that, but apparently not. I don't know. I thought maybe instead of playing Rook A8, which was ridiculous, I could have brought my king closer and tried to get him in a perpetual sort of scenario, but maybe earlier there was something. I would need some time to look at the position. I can't remember the last time I castled in Chess 960. I'm just like not castling. Yeah, last chance, last dance changed his challenge. 5+3, that's better. Got no time for the A+3 here. This is a good move, Bishop G5. Because I want to play C5, but now it's like he's going to crush me if I do that. It almost feels like I have to play D5 instead of instead of c5. I never can castle. I mean, I can castle, but it's not good. Nice job, Plucro, man. I thought the rook endgame was okay for me. Here, h4, wow. I do have knight e4 for whatever that's worth. Could try that. Looks dubious as well. Maybe I have to play h5. Looks horrifying. It's losing by force. What the heck is going on today? h6. Maybe I can play h6. Looks gross. But maybe it's not that bad. It sounds like what I was saying against Plucro. Plucro 1700 in chess 960 took me to task completely. You're welcome for the stream. Try to play those last 3 games quickly. I'm going to run a little bit over schedule here. These guys are actually ahead of Lousy Dirty Cheater, so I'm not cheating him out of the game. Platsuani rechanged his challenge. Chess Armageddon and Last Dance as well. Wow, I mean, I'm stunned he didn't play bishop takes f6. I was pretty uncomfortable about it. Now, d5. Bishop takes g6 is a problem. He plays bishop takes g6 followed by knight e5 here. Can I play c5? Looks sort of insane. Can I move my knight again? Yes, we could. Go back to e7. It's a little bit passive, but I really don't like this bishop takes g6 knight e5 business, and it reinforces the d5 square a little bit. You know, if he tries to do this, yes, it's a little bit passive for me, but the knight, I say on every single stream practically, knights on knight 3 or g6, b6, g3, and b3 always are bad. I mean, it's like 90% of cases it's just there because it's like got to be there temporarily, but it's almost never a good square. In a few random situations it's good for the knight to remain on that square, but here again, another situation where it's just not that well placed. It's being attacked by the advancing h pawn, giving his rook scope. Knight e3 looks kind of unnatural, but he doesn't have a great square. What I'm talking about, he could have played knight g3, but he saw me moving my c pawn and maybe taking his knight on the same thing. c5, reinforcing d5 again. This is a key point. This is a key point. I mean, c5 is going to open up a lot of pieces for him. Pretty much anything I do, actually. If I were to play bishop e4, getting kind of low on time. I'm not sure this is a good move, but if anything, like maybe I can just simplify the position into something that's easier to handle. These players are stronger than their ratings, by the way. I mean, Aldisto in particular, 1937, he's 2100 in classical chess. Many people don't really have many chess 960 games. I don't really like my position. White stands better despite the weakening h4. He has more space. Therefore, white should be better with all pieces on the board. It's almost like he played h4 in like a Bogo Indian or something, but Queen's Indian. But still, I think the space with so many pieces on the board. Look at my bishop on b8. It's just completely out of the game. Now I'm actually tempted to go back to b7 because his knight is so ridiculous on d2. If I play bishop takes b1, I feel like I help him here a little bit. It was playable, but I feel bad. I mean, I feel better about the Blue Crow game. I didn't like just screw it up at the last moment. It was probably, the whole rook end game was probably, at the later stage of the rook end game was lost. I think it was a draw, but he played that really, really well with his king. And maybe there was some moment where I was holding. I was down a pawn. Rook h3. I could take on g2 here, but he plays rook g3. Like, better for white to open the position to his advantage. c5 now. Pretty crazy game, but this shuts down his bishop on a3 temporarily. He will take on c5. And then I can take with the d pawn back symmetrically. I guess he's not going to take. Okay. Well, we may have to play the semi-ugly e5 at some point, but I don't really see an alternative. You know, normally you get like a really weak square on d5, but I have literally everything on the board controlling d5, so the last thing I'm worried about is the d5 square at the moment. Should calculate bishop takes g2 again, but it's not like I have any attack after that. Bishop takes g2, rook g3, double threat. I never have any tactics, and he's like going to take on g7 with advantage somehow. His king is safe. Not sure what I'm supposed to play here. Maybe bishop c8. That would be ironic. I just got a message from someone. If you guys want to contact me while I'm playing, send me a message on Twitch. I'll probably miss that though. Here we go in time pressure again. My tactics never ever work, no matter what kind of tactic it is. I never have it. I don't know what to do here. Castling feels like I'm castling into an attack. Yeah, actually he has g4. Alright, let's try this weird move. Taking advantage of his rook position. Not sure what I'm thinking here. This is probably bad, actually. Just undeveloping a piece. Yeah, he's just better now. I have to play something perverse, like rook g8 next move. After rook g3, rook g8. It's like ridiculous. Or maybe king f8. But he played rook f3. Which seems strange. Giving me a second chance. Why didn't I play knight h5? Well, he didn't play rook g3. He's much, much stronger than 1900. I didn't get to play much chess 960. I lost to a cheater, and I had another game where it was like a draw against a 2000 player. It's hard to get a game in chess 960, unfortunately, here. At least of, like, you know, any kind of rating above 2000. What am I supposed to play? I don't know. We'll just make a waiting move. I can play bishop takes g2. A lot of options. I don't want to weaken my king side. And still bishop takes g2 is risky. But I'm probably being a little bit paranoid. I mean, I could try it. It's just that if I do bishop takes g2 followed by castles, he has like f3 trapping my bishop on g2. So there's always a problem. f4 is super maniac style. Got to touch the rook. All I can really do is like hope to simplify. But here I feel like he kind of played into my hands. You know, now I'm actually... I've sacked a pawn, but I thought I had some compensation. Maybe I'm wrong. As usual. We have better, like a better, more harmonious position than white. I thought he had queen c7 last move. Better structure, more harmony in the position. Safer king. I still have 3 challenges to play. 5+3, those games should be pretty fast. But every other game's been extensive, very, very long today. I've been taking my time, using all my time every single game. Just not enough time here. White does have some issues. Trying to undermine everything. I knew this castling business was going to happen. You know, it happens every game I play. Actually, Aldisto did the same exact thing to me last time we played. He had this like secret castling move in the very, very last possible moment. Wow. powerful outside pawn. It's hard to stop that. I don't think he can stop the pawn. I guess I could have played a different move there. Man, good game. All right. We got revenge for our loss to Plucro. I'm going to play... we lost. The dude left. Okay. Armageddon left. I was going to play him. But we'll play Last Dance and Tlatolani. Armageddon sent me an angry email again, which isn't really cool. I tried my best to play with him. Yesterday he sent me an angry email. I'm just guessing because I got an email right about the time when he disappeared. I hope it's not another angry email because he didn't get to play, but I did everything within my power. I was going to play these 3 games, so that sucks. Anyway, this is a rare move, Last Dance, 93. Farago Shandor played that against me once. It's probably not that bad. A4 is, of course, the best move for white. As I said earlier, I don't know who this player is, why a Grandmaster Strength bullet player wants to play me on my stream. It just dominates every single tournament I hold. Just to like look good, I don't know. I thought it was like this former subscriber Divlyavatra, but the bullet play is just, it's just too strong to be that guy. I mean, it's got to be an IM or GM. An IM or GM bullet strength. Yeah, it can't be, because it's just too strong to be Divlyavatra. That's what I thought in the beginning, but it's just like ridiculous. The guy's like crushing people in bullet. But again, it's kind of like the question with World Loser. I don't understand why you wait like 3 hours to play a game with me and play bullet against me in a 5-3 time control. It's very weird. Now knight takes e6 could be a problem. I think I want to change my setup here. Although knight takes e6. I can maybe go here to watch my king play like cheapos, like queen e3 or something. Who are you, Mr. Last Dance? Read the email over stream. Bob, that's, yeah, I mean, dude, there's all kinds of racists from every every possible, you know, but I don't want to discuss this on the stream. People are racist for every conceivable thing, but I don't want to, you know, publicly shame people. You know, I'm not going to read anybody's emails on the stream. But you know, Armageddon got angry yesterday that he didn't get to play. Then probably he's angry again today. But I mean, then subscribe to the stream if you really want to play. Simply subscribe to the stream. I was going out of my way to play a longer stream today. You know, so it seems really particularly aggravating that I would get an angry email about it. It's just not really cool. Maybe I have to take the pawn here. I think I have to bite the bullet and take the pawn. I'm probably going to get crushed, but that's life. Try to defend ourselves. But Last Dance, I mean, who is this person, dude? I mean, seriously, like, who plays this well? That's a human being that would want to play me on my stream. I don't know, it's like trolling me or something. I think next time I'm just not going to accept their challenges anymore because it's just too weird and suspicious. They don't play almost any games except against me. Like, this account was basically created to play against me. They played one game against like Manir Manjay, I think I saw, but it doesn't play in anything else but Bullet and against me. Nothing else. It's really weird. Very, very weird account. Bob, if they're cheating, yes, it's possible, but I can't prove it one way or the other. They don't play enough long games like classical games to really say. They're not cheating in Bullet unless it's some sort of bot. I don't know if that's even possible. Could be. Could be. Looks super suspicious. That's why I didn't even want to accept the challenge, honestly. It would have to be a very strong GM, you know, like 20, 25, 50, 600 approximately, to play as perfectly as he normally does. Now there's this nasty tactics all over the place. I can't possibly calculate this, you know, with seconds left. But if he is a cheater, then he's very professional about it. I will say that. It's highly likely he is a highly professional cheater. That's a possibility. What do I do? Defend my queen? He's starting knight takes e6 followed by f4, which would win immediately, I guess. Don't really have a defense. Do I have knight c7 actually? I mean, knight c7 isn't really a great move. It doesn't contribute. Knight c7 is a hallucination. Okay, I meant knight d7. That loses immediately. I'm just gonna resign this. It looks lost. Apparently not. I could play knight takes f3. I have to play the king to f8 though. I just don't want to play against this account anymore. Like, this is seriously the last time I'm going to play this account, period. Because I just don't feel like it's really 100% kosher. So I can't even feel like, I think I'm playing a computer all the time. So I just am not going to play them anymore. Let's go on to Tatalani, and then maybe we have time for this game. I'm just not going to play that account anymore. It's just too weird. You know, nobody plays that well and that fast and that perfectly without some kind of assistance. So I'm sorry, whoever you are, but I'm just not going to. I can't feel like I'm playing a human being when I play with Last Dance. So if I think I'm playing a computer, I can't even play like my normal strength. I don't want to play you anymore, whoever you are. Thanks for the games, but no thanks. Dude, yeah, I mean, I'm panicking because I don't play the type of position, and I think that it's a suspicious account. And once I start to believe that someone is suspicious, I can't play anymore. The Grandmaster who cheated against me on World Chess Network, and many players years ago, who I will not name, after someone like beats you like 8 games in a row or 9 games in a row, you can't play against them anymore. He could have stopped using an engine, and I would have had like 0% chance against him, because once you're thinking you're playing an impossible opponent, you have 0 chance to win, and that's the problem. So basically, it's like a placebo effect. After a while, this player had me so I couldn't even play anymore. I just don't want to. I just don't want to play this game anymore with an anonymous player who's probably a centaur, using computer and human. He's obviously a strong bullet player, unless it's like possible to use an engine as a bot. I would think he would get caught if he was using the bot, but maybe he just hasn't played any strong enough players to get caught yet. If Skype, but what does that tell you, dude? Gmoves is like, if Skype, so you won't be playing a computer. You know what? You could have like 7 monitors, like in front of the person could have like 7 monitors. You'd have to have like a 360-degree camera, and then they'd be cheating with like a microphone in their ear that you couldn't see, like someone else like telling them the moves. I mean, there is no way to like prevent people from cheating. Like, forget about it, dude. It's not even conceivable. Is this a rated game? No, good. Knight takes c6 type of variations aren't really considered critical, but it is like a decent practical system for white, I guess. I get a lot of games like this, and it's actually hard for black to get more than an equal position. Though, dude, Gmoves, the computer detection team, like the real computer detection team on lichess, there's this like group, they call themselves the computer cheater detection, whatever. Like, if somebody's in that, I know they're a computer. There's this like informal group of players called the CIA or whatever. I mean, that is not sanctioned by lichess in any way. And if someone like joins that, like, I'm more suspicious that they're a cheater than if not. Honestly, the computer detection on lichess is decent, and I think they do a pretty good job. But this guy Last Dance, I can't prove he's a computer, but I suspect something is awry. And so as I said, I'm not gonna like write to lichess and accuse him, but I'm just gonna like choose not to play him anymore, because the account is suspicious enough, and his center pawn has been very, very low in a lot of games, to the point where I think there's something wrong there. He clearly is a human player because of his ability to play bullet, and I think that's what's put off like lichess from accusing him thus far. But if he plays enough legitimate players here, I think his account will probably, most likely get banned. White has a pretty strong attack here. I'm getting a little bit distracted with this conversation. Yeah, white has a very strong attack now. I have to be extremely careful. Maybe e5, ironically. There are people who are very professional at cheating, and they could be like masters and still be cheaters. This would be the case with that account if he is a cheater. I think he's at least 2200 FIDE strength to begin with, because the bullet games, I doubt they're purely bot. I don't like my position here. I'm in a kind of scary situation. I shouldn't have played h6. This was probably a big mistake. I lost my concentration a little bit, and I weakened my king side. I could have played e5 straight up, probably a much better move than playing h6. Now I've got a difficult position. So if I find someone suspicious, as I do with that account, I'm going to not play them anymore. I can't play you anymore because I feel like I'm playing an engine, and I might be wrong, so I'm not going to report it to lichess yet. But it's just too weird. I can't really even concentrate apologizing for cheating. Dude, I've seen plenty of grandmasters cheat. He's not the first and he won't be the last. It's really sad though. You'd think if someone put that much into chess, then, you know, chess would be too important to them to cheat, you know. But unfortunately, even amongst grandmasters, there are people who, unfortunately, you know, they just care more about money and being famous than having respect for the game that they put so much into. It's really sad. Obviously, non-grandmasters are probably slightly more likely to be cheaters than GMs. Platoni had a good position, but he simplified too much. He's still not lost. Very possibly I should just go back to f6 because I'm not making any progress here. My knight is actually getting kind of messed up there. This player 2010, it's much faster than me. I mean, I am a little bit distracted. Tired after 2.5 hours. Yeah, you fine-tuned your engine to avoid detecting, but the most dangerous players are not the like total beginners who cheat. It's the master strength guys who are like centaurs, a combination of master and computer. Platoni just played too fast, like most people on lichess. Too much bullet, too much really fast chess is destructive. Just playing too fast. He had a good position and just blundered. Blunder and counter blunder. Well, anyway, I'm still up. I'm still up material, right? I'm up a whole rook, so we can afford to give a piece back. But I'm pretty much fried. Platoni waited. He waited throughout the stream to play. I appreciate that. Lousy, dirty cheater. Yeah, we'll play you too. Knight to d5. You came a little bit late, dude. I can't play everybody unless this game is like super fast. I pre-moved. I'll try to play one more game, although I'm very tired. But this game was pretty fast, so the two connected pass pawns easily win. See, the problem with Last Dance is that if he was a GM or something like that, like, why would he want to play, you know? And it's just so strong, it's like ridiculous. I don't even feel like I have a chance. And he also has the ability to play 9 moves in 0 seconds. So you have no way to actually beat him on time. This is a forced mate. He should sacrifice his rook on e4. Well, it's maybe not forced mate. Well, now it is. All right, one more game. Last game. You only just came like 25 minutes late from dinner. The problem is I have like a lot of work to do. I'm already like 10 minutes over my time here, and I have kind of like a really tight schedule. So I don't mean to diss you guys, but it's really hard for me to overextend my stream. I have to do things like take a shower and eat every day. I know that it's kind of like luxurious, but I never played the G moves. Yeah, you've got to come like earlier, man, if you want to play. I can't guarantee you play if you come like toward the end of the stream. And I forgot you're a subscriber though. All right, G moves. G moves. Your knight to D5. Is that you? If you're a subscriber, I'm gonna have to play you. But I will caution you guys that if you don't come, you know, at least in the middle of the stream, even the subscribers I can't guarantee are going to get to play. G moves, you're not knight to D5. Well then, I can't play you, dude. You didn't even challenge me. 4 pawns attack. It's knight to D5 is not a subscriber, right? Really too passive black setup here. I'm kind of dizzy, guys, so I'm gonna call it a day here after this game. Too much stuff to do. I'm already 10 minutes over schedule. We played 2 games on Finn's YouTube channel. Ooh, man, it's too hot in here. Not enough oxygen. 4 pawns attack. I rarely play. We're getting more challenges. GM, dude, I can't play any more challenges. I'm sorry, even if you are a subscriber. I've got to go after this game. My stream was supposed to end 15 minutes ago. You're actually challenging me after my stream was supposed to be over. It's a little late. That's cool, Zen Chess. How did the games with Finns go? Finn. What's the meaning of his name anyway on ICC? Like the end? Like Knight to D5, what do you mean you waited almost the whole stream? You just challenged me now. Like, that was the first time I saw your challenge. I mean, I can't take reservations for like other days, you know. I mean, if you show up, then you can play. I mean, I can't do better than that. It's a song or a band? Oh. You know, I thought how like Greg Shahadi is curtains. Like Finns could be like Fiend, you know? But it's Fiend, not that would be Fiend, not like Fiends. Actually, how do you say the end in French? Is it F-I-N? Or like, why do I associate F-I-N-S with something? How do you respond to people saying you don't take enough time to play subscribers? Are you kidding me? I normally get people saying I don't take enough time to play the non-subscribers. That was like Chess Armageddon's big complaint. You're playing too many subscribers on your channel. Like, now we're going to get complaints from the other camp. Like, you're not playing enough subscribers. I mean, we can only play like so many games. These are pretty long time control. It's not like I'm playing bullet chess. Fiend, right? Yeah, okay. So I'm playing as fast as I can here against Lousy Dirty Cheater. But G-Moves, if you show up anywhere near the beginning of the stream, I will definitely guarantee I'll play with the subscribers. Most of the people understand that. You know, I've been streaming almost 3 hours today. We're trying to play as fast as I can to end this against Dirty Cheater. Finn's pluralis of Finn. But I guess I just don't know French. If you watch the stream on YouTube, you'll see my challenge near the start. Alright. Near the start. Really? You should have said something a lot earlier. Alright, knight to d5, then challenge me quickly here, okay? Lousy Dirty Cheater. If you want to challenge me to 5-3, knight to d5, go ahead and challenge me, but this is absolutely an exception. It has to be a 5-3, okay? Because I can't play anything longer than that. So, quickly challenge me because I've got to go. But if you are a subscriber, you know, I was asking people like, you know, who else is subscribers that I didn't notice. Sometimes I don't notice somebody, especially you, because you're kind of new. Alright, I've got to finish by 1 o'clock. I want to have a shower today. I should have played Queen B3 there, actually. This is a famous game between Anatoly Karpov and Zoltan Ribli. Now this should end it quickly. Knight d4. Winning pieces. Pieces, not pawns. It's a good trap. He does, he ends up, what, down a rook here. I wonder if I had even better there. Did I have knight b5? Knight d5 felt rushed, I'm sure. What can we do? Knight b5, queen d7. I thought. Usually in these accelerated dragons, I don't like to weaken myself with f3. It doesn't matter. I'm not a robot. I do get like tired. 3 hours for me is martini time. That has long been the case. It's not something new since I became middle-aged. Even when I was like 29, 3 hours is my limit for like analysis sessions. And when I used to work with a friend of mine, he was joking about it. I get like really tired after intense analysis. 3 hours is my limit. I don't think I could do a marathon stream. Now you can break through on the 7th, but he gets mated on the back rank. So there's actually no way to avoid the exchange of rooks. This is one way to avoid getting mated, I guess, like temporarily blocking my bishop with e3. Just keep it simple. How do you know he's not a robot? You can tell I'm not a robot with the way I lose so many games. People are like, "You're a weak." I am. I mean, I'm not the strongest blitz player in the world, but I'm not really like playing, you know, just straight up competitively here. I'm trying to explain concepts and stuff like that, so I do lose a lot of games and draw a lot of games. If my life depended on it, I probably wouldn't commentate the games that much. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. We'll be back on Sunday with a simul at 6:30 p.m. CEST. Thanks to subscribers and other players for playing and watching. We'll be back with a simul, 40-40 simul. It lasts about 3 hours. Again, that's my martini time on Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. I will upload all the streams there. Try to have time to create some other content once in a while. And thanks you guys for watching. I will also say thanks to everyone who's donated via PayPal to support the stream. And thanks to, actually we didn't have a moderator in the chat, just me today. Blue Crow used to be a moderator, so it felt like we had a mod today. World Loser as well. I'll see you guys later, and take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.